As you know, most of the last week we were red hot and got a little bit cold in the weekend. Wrapped it up with a big Sunday, 2-0 Sunday, and that was a huge week last week. We got one more week now going on into the All-Star break. So hopefully we can keep this momentum here and keep getting on some winners before the All-Star break. And pretty small card, pretty interesting card. John, how's the holiday weekend treating you?
Good. Treated me good yesterday with 2 winners. Saturday, not so good. Friday was our only other losing day of the week. Not a bad day. Just lost about 0.3 of a 0.3 of a unit. So it was less than a unit, even though we went 1 and 2, and that's what happens when you're betting dogs. But yeah, rebound yesterday, get 2 nice W's with the Orioles and the Reds. And we're right back at it. This is our last week, guys, before the All-Star break. I started off with the day game, as you'll see. That's my big bet so far for today. Let's get started with it, Ben.
Yeah, guys, a couple of day games. First one on the card, Cubs at Milwaukee. You have this Cubs team coming in just off a really tough spot. They were down big late last night. They forced extra innings, scoring 4 late in the game. And then next thing you know, they lose 8-6 in the 10th. And before all of that, there was a super long rain delay in that game. So just a horrible situation for them last night. They've now lost 6 of 7. Meanwhile, this Milwaukee team, they took 2 of 3 against the Pirates. They return home. They're now 7-3 on that trip. So very good trip there for the Brewers. Been playing good baseball lately. This is Brewers are nobody. They won 2 or 3 meetings this year. 5-9 Milwaukee last year. Teheran pitching here. He was roughed up his last time out. Prior to that, he was pitching great baseball. So see if he can get back on track. Hopefully they start to figure him out again. And Smiley, he was roughed up his last time out as well. He's been a bit better on the road this season. Did have good outings against the Brewers last year. This is just a horrible, horrible spot here for the Cubbies. Brewers trying to catch and hang with the Reds. Got to take advantage here to Teheran on the mound.
Yeah, so if you're tuning in, guys, you didn't have to wait long. Here it is, Milwaukee Brewers at home as a home dog. I don't understand this line whatsoever. Smiley right now, 2-4, 6.39 ERA. His last 6 starts. That cannot make a Cub team 1-6 their last 7 games a road favorite at Milwaukee. Yes, the Brewers struggle with lefties. We get all that. With that being said, as bad as Smiley's been, Teheran, that's his last start was his worst start. He's been terrific since his return. Just can't make the Cubs the favorite in this spot. We took the Brewers as a home dog. Brewers have been playing nice ball. They were up against the lefty yesterday in Rich Hill, and they got the job done. So, yeah, they hit 215. Is it 215 or 216 versus left-handed batter? 215. 29th and hitting 229. But they somehow get the job done. I think they'll get it done against the Cub team, as Ben said. Got stuck in the rain delay, got to travel. Coming in with Smiley that gets hit. I'm all over the Brewers.
Then we have Reds at Washington. Reds, big exciting win last night. Stevenson, 8th inning home run, puts them up. They've won 4 or 5 and 16-4 their last 20. Then you have this Washington team who's also playing good ball right now. They took 2 of 3 against Philly, who absolutely owns them. They have now won 4 of their last 5. But they haven't lost 10 of their last 11 home games. The Reds have won 10 of their last 11 road games. Weaver versus Irvin. Weaver, last 6 starts. The Reds have won them, but in June, he gave up 24 runs across 21 innings and 5 starts. He was getting cracked everywhere. And Irvin, better last few starts. Is coming off allowing 3 runs in 5 2/3 and a win at Seattle. He has had some home struggles, much like this whole Nationals team. This is a cheaper price for this Reds team who's red hot right now. I have a hard time getting behind Weaver. The numbers there don't equate to wins like they have, and we'll see if that keeps on happening. Have to like the over, I find, in this matchup, this pitching matchup. The way Weaver's been going, his overs have been pretty much automatic. So over 0 in this game. Slightly some leans there to Cincinnati, but I don't want to be back in Weaver.
I don't blame you, but I have to. My numbers say have to. The sharp guys have buried the Nationals on this one. This one opened 135 on the overnight. It's down to -110. And I just laid the -110, a small bet, a 1-unit bet, since he's just red hot. And I get Weaver's terrible. I'll give Irvin the pitching advantage in this one. But as Ben said, Cincy, they win 10 of 11 on the road. Nationals lose 10 of 11 at home. Nationals, worst home record in the National League. They scored just 3.65 runs per game. Irvin pitches worse. They're a worse team at home. And this is why I talk about my ratings all the time, guys. I'm the only guy that does it. I break it down home and away. If you're not breaking down home and away, you don't have a clue of how this game is done. That's how a handicapper does it. Certain teams are different at home and away, and they're not all the same. So you couldn't get a better example how much better Nationals are on the road. Now one game under 500 on the road. Completely different team at home. So even though Weave has just been absolutely horrible, give me that red-hot Cincy team at laying a cheap number, fighting for first place. So I got the top two games today. Brewers-Reds tied for first place, both going at it. Brewers a home dog, and Reds minus 110 against the worst team. Well, let's say call Colorado the worst team in the National League, but we'll call Washington the worst home team in the National League. Just give me 1 second, Ben, as the lineup's coming in.
Yeah, those pair of teams, the NL Central top teams right there. So we'll see if they can keep on getting business done. And if you're Cincinnati as well, I mean, you have the Brewers playing the Cubs, so they're getting beat up there. Pittsburgh, the other team that's kind of on their heels a little bit, they're playing the Dodgers. So you're hoping those three teams kind of get beat up this week while you get the worst home team in the NL. Then it's Cardinals at Marlins, St. Louis. They took 2 of 3 against the Yankees. They went 3-3 on the homestand. Then you have this Miami team coming off facing that red-hot Braves team. They get swept by 3 games. After the 5-game win streak. Cards do own this matchup a little bit. They've won 10 of the last 12 meetings, 5 of the last 6 at Miami. Granted, bit of a different Marlins team this year, bit of a different Cardinals team this season. It's Mikolas versus Garrett. Garrett's just been phenomenal. Last 8 starts, or they won 8 of his last 9 starts. He's 3-0, 1.98 in that stretch. Last 4, just 3 earned runs and 23 1/3. Has been a bit worse at home, 1-1, 5.35 in 7 outings. And Mikolas, Cards lost all 5 of his June starts. He had a 6+ ERA. Just did have good numbers there against the Marlins last year, 5 shutout innings, and he's been better on the road as well. Tough game to get a read on. It's really tough to get a read on these teams coming off these series against Atlanta. Miami red hot before it, similar to how Philly was prior they got to this Braves team. What do they have left coming out of that? Can they bounce back right away? And then the pitching matchup, just with the reverse splits with Garrett and Mikolas, kind of a weird read. It's really slight lean here to the Cardinals. Heading into last week, I thought we were about to see the Cardinals take care of business on that homestand. They just split the 6 games with the Yankees and the Astros. And that's the Yankees and Astros team is kind of underwhelming right now. So slightest of leans here, Cardinals. Don't love it, though.
Yeah, Cardinals had a chance. They caught the Astros without their best hitter, Alvarez. Caught the Yankees without their best hitter, Judge. And all they're coming away with is a 3-3 homestand. Go to Miami, a team that they've owned in the past. But got to give Garrett the pitching advantage over Mikolas in this one. But as Ben said, reverse splits with the pitching home and away. And Mikolas pitched pretty well against last time against the Marlins, where Garrett got hit the last time. Jazz Chisholm also left last night's game. He's going to be questionable. My line on this game is $1.30. The line opened 115 on the overnight. It's up to $1.30 now. So there just wasn't enough room for me with the question mark of Chisholm to be out to bet on the overnight. And right now that line is exactly what I make it. So we'll pass this one.
Then we have Pirates at Dodgers. Pirates coming off a loss to the Brewers. They dropped their last 2 after a 4-2 homestand. And then you have this Dodgers team coming off a pair of losses at Kansas City, of all places. They went 3-3 on that trip. But they are the second best home team in the NL. It's going to be Keller on the mound for the Pirates today. He's been better. He had that rough stretch in May, but he's kind of found a groove again. 2-1, 2.52 his last 4 starts, and just good numbers against the Dodgers. Had a quality start against them earlier this year. 10 Ks, 1 walk. A little bit of road struggles. Waiting on a Dodgers pitcher. Keller's been pitching better. Had success against the Dodgers earlier this season. And Pirates playing decent ball right now. They kind of own this matchup. 7 of the last 9 meetings. Would be Pirates or nobody for me, but you could argue a little bit of a revenge factor. Have to wait to see the Dodgers pitcher.
Yeah, got to wait and see the Dodgers pitcher. And what a line is, can't give you anything. All I can give you is this. Just keep in the back of your mind, Pirates went out there last year, swept a 3-game series. Pirates did get Reynolds back off the IL from yesterday. And Dodgers, just when we thought they were going to turn around, they go and blow 2 games at the second worst team in baseball, Kansas City Royals. This is a crazy game. Like I said, you just got the feeling in Colorado that they were putting it together. They win that first game at Kansas City, which is the game we thought they might lose. There's the game that they had a late start in Colorado Thursday night because of a rain delay. They got to travel all night, get into KC. You think they might come up a little tired. Nope, they crushed. We say, okay, looks like the Dodgers are ready to turn it on. And then they go blow the next two to the Royals. So crazy spot there. But, yeah, without a pitcher, without a line, can't really give you a read on the game. We'll see what happens in that one later.
And then we have the series of the weekend. Astros Rangers carried over here. Houston with the win yesterday. They have won 2 of 3 in this series. They've split 6 meetings this season. Texas Rangers a little bit struggling right now, just 3-4 on this homestand, scoring 4 runs per game the last 4, 3-6 last night overall. Javier versus Perez, pretty good pitching matchup, but Javier last 2 starts, brutal, 10 runs and 6 1/3, 2 Ks, 6 walks, tough to back it. He does have good numbers against the Rangers. He went 2-1, 2.96 with them last year. And then you have Perez, who 6 of his last 8 starts are quality starts. Beginning of the season had crazy reverse splits or crazy splits as far as home and away, a lot better at home. Lately, a bit better on the road, but still just terrific at home. 3-1, 1.91 in 6 starts. So as a whole, he's pitching better and still pitching phenomenal at home. Did have a good outing, again, a win against the Astros earlier this year. This is a slight lean here to Houston. I mean, they come into the series, they've taken care of business so far. Pitching edge, I'll give it slightly here to Perez. Not even slightly, pitching edge to Perez. He's been pitching better at home. Just think this Astros team's figuring it out a little bit. This is a big game. I mean, chance for the Rangers to even up the series. Javier's been in this situation before. Wouldn't be surprised if it comes a little bit of a bounce back start here. Would be Astros or nobody for me.
Yeah, this is what we call mixed signals. You had definitely give Perez the pitching advantage. 2 pitches going in different directions. Perez had been getting roughed up, but had been on the road. At home, been under a 2 ERA the entire year. His only game that wasn't a quality start was his last start. At home was his last start. Javier absolutely terrible in the his last 2 starts. 10 runs over 6 1/3 innings, 2 Ks, 6 walks. So control all over the place. On the other hand, we got the teams going in different directions. All of a sudden, Astros just 4 games behind Texas. Texas now dropping 6 of their last 9. Houston 5-4 on this road trip now, but kind of turning it around. You feel them getting better since that St. Louis series. They've won 2 of 3 here. They can cut it down to 3 games. Is Texas having the app a little bit? I don't think Texas thought they'd be in this position if you went earlier in the season. They knew they were going to be a playoff team, but they got a lot of over-the-top pitching from Gray, from Eovaldi, Dunning. Perez, who was their best pitcher last year, actually hasn't been giving them as much, but he's giving it to them at home. This is a tough game. Sharps are all over Texas in this one. I'm just not buying into it. Jeremy Pena's missed the first 3 games of the series for the Astros. He's questionable. I think this is a tough one. I'll stick away.
Then we have Orioles at Yankees. Nice AL East matchup. Wells versus Herman. You have to imagine there's a letdown factor here for Herman after the perfect game. Prior to that, as we talked about last week, just ridiculous 17 runs he gave up in 5 1/3. So imagine we see a hybrid of that in the perfect game. Those are just absolute extremes. We'll see if there's a letdown factor. Then it's Wells for Baltimore. 3 of his last 4 starts, quality starts. Last one coming off the red-hot Reds. 2 starts versus the Yankees this year. Gave up 9 runs in 9 innings, and he went 0-2, 4.26 versus them last year. So Wells, not good numbers against the Yankees this season. Tough to get a read on this game. Yeah, Baltimore just not scoring right now. They snapped the 4-game losing streak. Yankees, they kind of got the bats going against Oakland. Looked like they fell off already in St. Louis. Now coming back home. They've split 6 meetings this year. Weird pitching matchup. Herman letdown spot. Yankees own Wells a little bit. Would be Baltimore or nobody for me. I mean, you're the best AL road team in the baseball. They've won 2 of 3 at NY this year. Just tough to go on it with those numbers there for Wells. So Orioles are nothing. Tough to give up. Back a guy who's giving up 9 runs in 9 innings versus him.
Yeah, I don't know what to make out of this game. So as Ben said, you got Herman coming off the perfect game. Usually going to be a little bit of a letdown. He only threw 99 pitches in that game, so he didn't throw an extraordinary amount of pitches to get there. Baltimore just stopped hitting. They snapped up the 4-game losing streak for us yesterday. We were on that, but we were getting blanked that whole game, come up with 2 runs late to get the win. just 2.2 runs per game in their last 5, hitting 159. To make matters worse, Austin Hayes, 7th in Major League Baseball, hitting 312. He left yesterday's game early in the game. He'll be questionable today. So you got an Oriole team not hitting, coming in against a guy who threw a perfect game his last time out. What will he have today? Wells has pitched. It's been a real good season for Wells, but again, not so much against the Yankees. Yankees, without Aaron Judge, you guys know the story, just a completely different team. Without Judge, they would have the worst team batting average in Major League Baseball for the season. You get Baltimore, a slight favorite. That's because they're the best road team in the American League, and that's where they belong. Just not enough of an edge to take anyone in this one.
Yeah, it's tough matchup there all around. We'll see how that one goes. Another division battle, Royals at Minnesota. A little bit of a letdown factor here for KC after taking 2 of 3 against the Dodgers. You have this Minnesota team who's coming off series against Baltimore. Scored total just 2 runs in the last 2. They went 4-5 on that trip. They've been playing some pretty low-scoring baseball. Have a slight lean to the under in this game. And big price on this game, but I think it's worth the run line look here for Minnesota. You have Ryan on the mound. He was the latest victim to this Braves offense, gave up 6 runs, 5 homers in 3 innings against them. Prior to that, though, had the complete game shutout against Boston, and he just owns Kansas City. He had a quality start versus them earlier this year. Last year, he went 4-0, 1.13 against them. This is very much so your perfect bounce-back spot here if you're a pitcher like Ryan, who's been pitching great all year, get roughed up by the Braves. Now you get Kansas City, who's pitching Cox, who's going to make his second career start after giving up 4 runs against the Guardians. So complete pitching mismatch, a perfect opportunity here for Ryan to get back in rhythm. And I won't hold the Atlanta start over his head just because everyone's getting torched by that Atlanta offense. KC letdown spot as well. I think Twins are worth the run line in this game.
Yeah, 220 on the money line. Huge favorite, especially for a team that's just not hitting. Twins, another one, not hitting. They scored a total of just 2 runs in their last 2 games. They come home from a 4-5 road trip, so a long road trip, scored just 2.78 runs per game. 2-4 the last 6, hitting just 217. So not getting a lot of hitting done, but as Ben said, here comes KC fresh off 2 home wins over the Dodgers, and they're coming in with this kid, Cox. Made his first career start last time out and got beat up pretty good. Expect Ryan to bounce back off that ugly start against the Braves. 220, yeah, the line's warranted. I'm not saying I'm laying the Twins by no stretch of the imagination, but I can see that number being that high. Pitching mismatch, Twins need a win over here, and Ryan has absolutely owned KC.
Yeah, Guardians were playing KC while the Twins were getting beat up by the Braves. That's how they caught them in the division, and now it's kind of the reverse of that. Guardians have Atlanta while Twins get KC. So I guess Twins have to take care of business like Cleveland did here. And that's the next matchup, Braves at Cleveland. And why bet against the Braves? 16-1 their last 17, coming off a sweep against the red-hot Marlins. You got Elder on the mound, who's second best ERA in MLB. He's great on the road, 3-0, 1.43 in 6 starts. And you have Williams, who's had 2 career starts. First one was torched by the A's. Second one held that KC team to 1 hit and 7 shutout innings. So we'll see if he has anything like that. But with this Atlanta offense, nobody's safe. I wouldn't expect anything. Could argue a little bit of a letdown factor here for the Braves, just coming off a sweep against the Marlins, a team chasing them in the division. But I just don't see it. There's no reason getting away from it. This looks like one of those streaks that's going to ride right into the All-Star break.
Yeah, Braves are now, with this late run, have taken over Tampa Bay for best record in Major League Baseball. I mean, they're just on fire. They're crushing the ball. Lead Major League Baseball in home runs by far. Second in team batting average, second in runs scored. And at this pace, it won't be long until they catch Texas, who's number 1 in both those categories, but have been falling off as the Braves are ascending. 675 bowl right now on that pace. That gives them just over 109 victories. That's what kind of baseball they're playing. Lately, they're out of their minds. Not many times do I say this. It's Atlanta or nobody, a favorite on the road. They're just that good. Elder been pitching great, second best ERA in Major League Baseball. Braves 12-4 in his last 2 starts in his 16 starts. The Cleveland guy, they've got Williams going as their number 4 prospect, roughed up the first time by Oakland. Better his next time out. just as the Cubs are in a tough spot. Same situation for Guardians, maybe even a little worse. They go into the ninth inning, a 5-1 lead, put the closer in, and he blows it up. He throws 26 pitches. He'll probably be unavailable today. Kwan also didn't play, their leadoff hitter. He'll be questionable today with a sore shoulder. Braves are nobody for me. Yes, Braves are nobody. $1.45 favorite on the road. They've actually, the shops have taken it. This game opened 145, and it's down to around 138, 140. But I'm not betting against this Braves machine right now.
Yeah, no reason to get in front of it. Then we have Angels and Padres. Angels coming off a win against the D-backs. They snapped 4-game losing streak. Padres coming off a loss against Cincy. They went 1-5 against on the trip, playing rough baseball right now. Both teams struggling. Angels have won 5 of the last 7 meetings. Berea versus Snell. Berea was roughed up by the White Sox, gave up 3 homers for 5 runs last time out. And Snell, you guys know the story about him. He has just been absolutely dominant lately. All 5 of his June starts were quality starts. He went 3-1, 0.87 ERA, 53 Ks. So he's been terrific. Tough to get the Padres number this high. I mean, and actually, Snell's not officially in the box yet, correct?
Not official, no.
Yeah, so still waiting on Snell to be officially in the box, but this price being at -185, -190 at some spots, the only way it could be that high is with Snell, and it still should not be that high with Snell. This Padres team, 1-5 on the trip. Angels owed them a little bit. Berea, horrible last time out, was decent before that. This will be Angels or nobody if it is this high and if it is Snell.
Yeah, pitching mismatch, as Ben said, just as he perfectly gave it to you guys perfectly. How the hell are you going to make San Diego a 180 favorite? This team cannot get out of their own way. So they're going to come back now 1-5 from the road trip. They've lost 7 of their last 8. Angels have won 5 of the last 7 meetings, 6 of the last 7 at San Diego. This San Diego, what a disappointment. Can't believe the coach is still there. The number's too high. Tough for me to bet the dog in this pitching mismatch, but want no part of San Diego.
Then we have the last game on the card, Mariners at San Francisco. Giants also in a tough spot, coming off the Sunday night game, traveling cross country. They went 2-4 on the trip. Bats went cold, scoring 2.5 runs per game, batting 197. But on the last homestand, they were red hot. So we'll see if they find that again. Then you have the Seattle team who they beat the Rays. They won the last 2 following the 3-game losing streak. So they played well in that series. Wu versus Webb. Wu, last 3 starts, a lot better. 4 runs, 3 earned, 16 innings. Nothing great, but very solid for his first year. And then Webb, he was finally cracked. He had 5 runs and 5 innings at Toronto. Prior to that, had the 11-12 quality starts and much better at home this year, the 2.31 ERA. Really tough spot for the Giants going across country like this. Number is cheap for Seattle. It kind of seems, or for San Francisco, it kind of seems like they keep overvaluing Seattle here. So cheap number for the Giants. It is because of that spot. Question is, how much weight do you want to put to it? Slightly in here to San Francisco in this one. Yes, Wu's been a bit better. Seattle takes 2 of 3 against Tampa Bay. A bit impressive, but Ray's been so-and-so on the trip. Just don't want to get behind this Mariners team really here. So slightly into the Giants, but not loving the price.
Yeah. Giants hitting 197 on that road trip, 2-4 road trip, scoring just 2.5 runs a game. You got your Yastrzemski's on the IL. Conforto missed the last few games, missed the entire Mets series. And yeah, flying overnight from the Sunday night game, everything against them. But Webb at home is a better pitcher than being a 130 favorite over Wu. So the number's a little low, but that's why it is low. They're not hitting. The spot, playing Sunday night, doing the cross-country trip, 130. What you take all into account, that's the right number. Conforto, again, he'll be question mark also tonight. So tough card, but I gave you the couple that I like. That's it, Ben.
Yeah, guys, it's going to be an interesting week here heading to the All-Star break. Maybe you have to pay attention a little bit closer to the weekend if anyone gets any spot rest or anything else. Pitchers as well, they kind of mess up the timing sometimes of that with the All-Star game. So something to look for this week. As you guys know, things have been hot. Go check out the website, howtobeatthebookie.com, or download the app. Coming off a big winning week, 5 of the 7 days are winning days. Coming off the 2-0 Sunday. John, hopefully we keep it hot headed to the All-Star break. Let's make some money.
Let's make some money.